Yes, Ammo. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I want to take you with me in a personal journey, very close to my heart and very emotional in many aspects. So bear with me. Death happens to be one of Allah's signs in this life. The many of us do not understand it until it happens to us. A lot of us lives in a life, unlike in Palestine, places where there is conflicts, shielded from death, from the feeling of betrayal. Because when a loved one passes away, you feel betrayed, you feel angry, and you feel that you are owed something. And to some people, that becomes a struggle even with Allah Himself. Why did you do that? Why did you take my loved ones? Today is the anniversary of my mom's passing away a few years ago. And I've shared that story with few close friends, like Brother Abdullah here. And in that day, my mom was feeling a little bit unwell. But as it is the case with her generation, they believe in something called al-alam al-tabi'i, the normal pain. So why complain? Well, my dad decided, no, you should go to the hospital just to get checked. She just felt a little bit of pain in her chest. Typically, I'm the one who takes my mom to the hospital, but for that day, my brother Ahmed, my sister Zainab, and my sister Maimuna decided to take her there. And I had a very long day and I was very exhausted. And I decided I'm just going to stay home. And for whatever reason, I woke up and I felt I'm probably going to regret not going to the hospital with my mom. But my brain did not go as far as anything other than maybe there would be a billing issue and the hospital will need me to be there. I know her insurance and all that stuff. So I woke up and I was very exhausted, but I went there. And in the waiting room, my kids are listening to this story for the first time. And in the waiting room, they checked her and they said, no, there is nothing urgent. So just wait. And we waited for a few hours. And it tells you something about the medical establishment in this country. Then a few hours later, they took her inside and they got her checked. And interesting enough, the nurse that we had there happened to be a Yemeni nurse that I've met before. So she told my mom, calm down. There's nothing to worry about. You seem fine. You seem absolutely fine. And you're in the hospital. So that's the best place to be at if you're complaining of anything. Many hours passed and nothing's happening. So they decide, let's do MRI, because they did an X-ray and nothing happened. And the nurse that came to take her, I still remember her until now, and I curse her in my dreams because she refused to let me go with my mom to that room, but I still did. So she laid down because the MRI machine requires you to lay down. And when she got up, it's like her lungs drowned in whatever she was coughing. And she started coughing. From the time she got from that room to her room, 5 minutes. And then she got into the room and then she was coughing very strong for no more than 5 minutes. Mind you, we were just laughing an hour ago, making jokes. Mom had nothing. There was nothing going on. And she looked at me and she said, son, I think this is it. And then they evacuated the room immediately, kicked us out. I refused. And they came to do whatever they need to do. And a chaplain came down. For anyone who's lost a loved one, you know, in a hospital, they have a chaplain. Sometimes there is a Muslim chaplain. He comes in because you're losing a loved one, so they want to console you. And my sister cursed her. And she said, leave. I don't want you here. What are you doing here? Because just the idea, we could not fathom that my mom is passing away. I could not fathom it. And I saw my mom laying down, and they're doing whatever they need to do in her heart. And then they broke her ribs. And then they took her to the ICU. And as soon as she got there, a Muslim doctor, and maybe this is something for us to learn and to think about, came immediately to us and said, hey, your mom is dead. Maybe we take her out of the hospital tomorrow. I haven't even digested the idea that my mom is not feeling well, and now you're telling me to take her away? And it took us a couple hours to sit down with him and get the humanity from his heart as a Muslim and tell him, wait, I don't think my mom is dead. And I want all my other siblings from all around the world to come and say goodbye to her. So after 2 hours, we did a conference or whatever, and the doctors came and they said, okay, go ahead, call your family, have them come and say their goodbyes. One of my siblings, his name is Mus'ab, and he is Down syndrome. He lives in Egypt. So we sent him document from the hospital saying that he needs to come, and he went to the embassy and he presented it, and it was during the ban. And the consular looked at it and he goes, no humanity. He said, no, you don't get to say goodbye to your mom. Anyway, he was there for a few days. And the second day, I remember the hadith, رب أشعث أغبر ذي تمرين مدفوع بالأبواب لو أقسم على الله لأبره. And I thought perhaps that would be me. So I kneeled in front of her room and I yelled and I said, أقسمت عليك أن تعيدها لي, أقسمت عليك أن تعيدها لي. Many times, sincerely from my heart. And it didn't. It didn't happen. And this is the first major death that happens in my family, and it happens to be the best person in my life, my mom. In a lot of traditions in Muslim countries or Arab countries, it is shameful to say publicly the name of your mom. People don't ask you, what's your mom's name? And if they do, you don't tell them what's your mom's name. So I am here to tell you that my mom's name is Doktora Amatul Ilah al-Ansi. Because I believe my mom is going to be in Al-Hashr with Sayyidatuna Aisha and Khadija and Maryam and Fatima, all the ladies that we know their names. So I am not ashamed of my mom's name, and I will say it again, Amatul Ilah. She was a beautiful woman. She had 12 kids, and she adopted another 5, 17 kids that she raised herself. But with that, she finished her bachelor degree, his master degree, and her PhD. My memory of my mom is someone who always prays, always wearing her thiyab al-salah, the white ones. And anytime my mom prays, I swear to God, كَأَنَّ بَيْنَهَا وَبَيْنَ اللَّهِ مَدَدْ, as if there is a direct connection between her and Allah. When she prays, I would just sit down and I would put my head in her lap, and that would be my heaven, and it still is my heaven. For a while, and I share this with you sincerely as beloved community, I felt that my mom's movie did not end. It was interrupted in the middle. So I asked Allah, why? علمني الحكمة أو علمني الصبر. You either tell me why or teach me patience. And some of my siblings also felt resentment and pain. My mom was a religious scholar, so in Yemen, when we announced that, my uncle did Bayt al-Aza, and hundreds of people came to give condolences for 10 days. Her own students came, and families and loved ones, and they all felt the same way. Only my dad had a different feeling. Only my dad, and I learned that from him, the strength that he had. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. He went and he did wudu and he prayed. He never complained. He never had sukht toward Allah. Why did you do that? But I did, and I said that. And He forgives me. I know He does forgive me. That day, when I took my mom from the hospital, my dad refused to sign the documents. He said, I signed the document of marrying your mom. I'm not going to sign the document of marrying her. So I did that. And when we left the hospital, it was between Dhuhr and Asr. And it was dark outside, very dark. And it was raining, heavily raining with thunder. So my dad looked up and he goes, إنما تبكي السماء رحيل أمكم. The sky is crying over your mom's passing with tears and with thunder. I know my mom is a saint. I know she's in heaven, so she's in a better place than where I'm at right now. So once I got over it, I didn't get over it, but once I thought about it deep and I saw how my dad reacted, started thinking of her ilm, the books she wrote, the articles she published, علم ينتفع به and ولد صالح يدعو لها. So I decided to be a better human being for my mom's sake, so I can be the so-called ولد صالح يدعو لها, a biased son who can pray for her, because that will continue her legacy. رحمة الله على أمي وأمهات المؤمنين جميعا. من كان له أم فليلزمها. If you have a mom, stay close and let go of your ego thinking you know better because she's old or she doesn't understand or you have experience. Because I would have missed my mom because I was tired and I wanted to sleep. And I would have regretted for the rest of my life. And I still regret every single time I had any type of argument with her. And now I tell myself, whatever I was so 100% right is not worth it. I could have just said, حاضر يا أمي على عيني وراسي. I could have said that. But us human beings, arrogance takes us elsewhere. And we think it is our duty to tell our parents how it is. No, it's not. إما يبلغن الكبر عندك أحدهما أو كلاهما فلا تقل لهما أف. Allah chose uffin with His infinite wisdom for a reason. Because when we were kids and Mama changed our diaper, she never said oof. She said, oh, how cute my baby is. So when you grow up and you go, oof, Mama, you're giving me a hard time, you made a mistake. وقل لهما قولا سديدا واخفض لهما جناح الذل من الرحمة وقل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرة. المفسرين, they say that when crows, the birds, they fight among each other, if one gives up but doesn't want to die, it extends its wing to the other bird to show submissive, to say, don't kill me, I'm done. I am submissive to you. So Allah uses that description in this ayah, janah al-dhul. So when you serve your parents, especially your mom, you don't serve her with your standards, that she should show appreciation, that she should say thank you, that she should be nice to you, that she should stop talking about you and your wife and your kids and all that stuff. No, janah al-dhul, humiliation. Humiliation, you do it with humiliation. And we don't realize that until it's late. So من كان له أم فليلزمها. Whoever has a mom, stay close to her, physically and emotionally and mentally and financially if you can. One call a week is not enough. Now you can call everyone for free immediately in your phone. If she lives overseas, if she lives in a different place, call her, serve her. You know, in our culture, there is no shame to bend down and kiss your mom's feet. When my mom was laying down in her bed in the hospital, I kissed her lap where she embraced me. And I kissed her knees and I went down and I kissed her feet. And the nurse looked at me strange. Why is he kissing her feet? That was the end of it. Rahmatullahi alayki ya ummi. May Allah have mercy in you. When she passed away, my brother wrote this poetry that we wrote in her grave stone. زفراتك الثكلى وهذا الليل لا يمضي وأنت تتمتمين عن أي شيء تسألين الصمت يا أمي ومما تطرقين ها أنت في ثوب الصلاة تسافرين وتكلمين الله جل الله تكليما كدأب العارفين لا تعرفين اللؤم يا أخت الندى لا تعرفين سوى المحبة ديدنا وهوى ودين. Forgive me for not translating it. It's just it loses its value when it's translated. اللهم ارحم أمهاتنا جميعا وآبائنا جميعا. اللهم ارحم من مات منهم واغفر له واسكنه فسيح جناتك. اللهم علمنا كيف نخدم آباءنا وأمهاتنا، كيف نخضع لهم بأدب واحترام، كيف نكسر العزة والعند في أنفسنا حتى نري أمهاتنا وآبائنا من نفسنا خيرا، حتى يتعلم أبناؤنا كيف يتعاملون معنا عندما نكبر ونعجز ونصبح كبارا. آمين اللهم آمين.
مع النبيين وصحبه وسلم.